We're going to lead off with Bryan Dean, who joins us on the phone from the State Election Board. Bryan, how are you this evening?
We're doing good.
You know, when I last spoke with you was probably back in April, and at that point it was the filing period, and you suggested at that point we would see a record number of candidates to file. That turned out to be the case. Did that translate into lots of people going to the polls today?
Well, we'll know for certain, tonight as results start, coming in, and we can get a clearer picture of just how many folks have come out to vote. But if you look at what we saw during early voting and what we saw from our mail votes, I mean, we're well ahead of pace of what we saw 4 years ago. Both Republicans and Democrats had higher numbers. In fact, I think Democrats were more than double the number they got 4 years ago in early voting. So the numbers are certainly encouraging, and our voter registration numbers have been up. So, you take all those things together, and it's certainly encouraging. We're certainly hopeful that we're going to see pretty good turnout today.
Bryan, across the state, what was the feedback today? Were there any problems?
There are always little issues that come up. In every election. I know we had a precinct in Tulsa early this morning that the poll workers got there and their key didn't work to open up the door. And so they contacted the county election board, and they put their heads together, and one of the poll workers pulled their pickup up, and they put the tailgate down, and they started getting voters through and casting ballots out the back of the pickup. And that is good poll worker ingenuity, and that's the kind of thing that we really are proud of our poll workers for making sure that people get in and get their votes counted.
I'm not sure there's anything more Oklahoma than pulling up the pickup and casting ballots there. So, and to your point, good ingenuity and keeping things going. Bryan, I want to ask you one thing I saw on social media today. Some people were saying they didn't get both ballots with the state question, perhaps being on a separate ballot. Any thoughts on that from what you heard?
We got some calls and some questions from the media about that, and so I did talk to most of our county election board secretaries in our larger counties, and we did not have any widespread issues of people being denied ballots or anything of that nature. We did have some issues, it sounds like, where there were some poll workers early in the morning who were asking people if they wanted the nonpartisan ballot, which had the state question on it, rather than just issuing those ballots to everyone. And as the counties, when they started getting some reports of that, they immediately contacted their poll workers and followed up and got everybody on the right page. So, generally speaking, things were pretty good today. It's always a challenge when you're putting on a statewide election, and we work long hours, and so nothing's ever perfect. And so, with the main thing, and what we've told people all day long, is if they have problems at their polling place, if they see anything that doesn't look right, if they think they're not getting a ballot they need to call the county election board as soon as possible so they can get that rectified and get it dealt with. So, we can't fix an issue unless someone lets us know about it. So, that's the main thing is we want to get those things fixed, and there are going to be hiccups, and we just want to try to make sure they get fixed as soon as we can.
Bryan, something you mentioned off the top of this interview before we let you go, you mentioned that you'll know more as the results come in about voter turnout. What is the process at this point for some people who may not know of when these votes become official and sort of the timeline from here?
Sure. Just looking right now, we've got about 340 of 1,951 precincts that are reporting. Generally speaking, what we see first are the absentee and early voting numbers, because the counties have, they generally have, many of them have already gotten all those run through the machines and everything, and so it's just a matter of plugging in those results from the machines and getting them tallied. And the poll workers, they've got to get everybody through who is in line at 7 o'clock. Then they have to close the polls down. The precinct inspector has, they have to drive back with the ballots and the machine, which are locked and sealed, and then bring those in. And the county election board then has to open those up and count them during their public meeting. So it takes a little longer for those to start coming in. But we do have some results coming in already from some of the precincts. So those will continue. Hopefully we should have the bulk of those in by about 9 or 9:30 or so, and then we'll have a few that will just have to trickle in late. And that's always, there's always a few precincts that take a while longer to get in. So,
chatting with Bryan Dean from the State Election Board. Bryan, I'll let you go on this. We mentioned the pickup truck and the voting, but is there anything more Oklahoma and American than the I voted sticker? People love these, and it seems like this iconic image hasn't changed, but it almost has a second life with social media. People love their selfies and the stickers.
You know what's interesting is we came across an article a while back that was in a trade publication for election administrators from the 1970s. The I voted sticker was apparently invented in Oklahoma. So there's one for the books. When you say it can't be more Oklahoma, I think we actually invented it, and people do love those stickers. And I vote absentee, and so I don't get a sticker. And I know some people they want to go to their polling place just for the sticker. So I certainly get that. Although I will tell you, it's great and it's very convenient to vote by mail as well.
Bryan Dean, bringing it home with a solid Oklahoma reference there with the I voted sticker. Sir, as always, we appreciate your time. Good job today, and we'll let you go.